Hello everybody and welcome in to Geek With Me, where today we continue our bi-weekly coverage of Peacemaker Season 2, and today we are discussing episodes 3 and 4, titled Another Rick Up My Sleeve, directed by Greg Motola, and Need I Say Door, directed by Peter Sollett, both written by James Gunn. I'm Colton Robertson, I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? Always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. Peacemaker just continues to please. How are you feeling after 3 and 4?
Man. Yeah, this is a good direction that we're headed. I feel like we're pretty on the nose for a lot of things, which is really cool.
Yep.
And then to get some reveals of just like, we were kind of going crazy of like, is the dad some super genius that stumbled upon this? And then Lex
and
Luthor,
like,
it's like,
no!
fuck it. He's actually, just a straight up, just the cake. That all
thief.
He is the white dragon.
He is just
that
a thief, yeah.
So yeah, I love that. There's, everything the show is doing, I'm loving. And I think the most that like theory, if I'm spinning on anything, it's like, what universe is Superman, and how important is that? I hope it's not this one, the white supremacist one, or it's some future version of it that happened to be fit. I don't know. I feel like this is just a completely separate, just a Peacemaker, a world that we'll deal with for a little bit, and then
the other world.
later.
Yeah, I agree, because I think that Superman's from our original Peacemaker's timeline.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Justice Gang, and there could be an alternate version of the Justice Gang. I'm not saying it's a guarantee that's the case, but I
guess
I'm pretty confident that the universe Peacemaker is coming from is the DCU. We have reference to the Lex Luthor incident a few months back this summer.
The punk rock band is that this is the one thing that is showed up in the other world that is explicitly mentioned in Superman, though, and it was in white supremacist world and not the other world, but at least a billboard for it. I don't know if in real world if it has power.
The mighty Crab Joys or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So maybe they're just a universal constant. I think that'd be just kind of funny. Is that
would be funny?
Everything in the other, you flammable all or whatever their explosive is, like everything's just weird and not the same. But this one,
there was
Superman's favorite band has to be the constant.
The mighty Crab Joy. I mean, Mr. Terrific exists in the Superman world, and let's see, Perry White is the head editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet. So, there's a couple things there where, I don't think we're existing in a white supremacist reality over in Superman. But, regardless, no, there's been a few, one of my favorite details about the other universe is the slight differences. I love the slight differences. He has a poster on his wall that says "Pour some honey on me" instead of "Pour some sugar on me," which is really, really great.
Honey on me. Yes,
Winnie the Pooh.
I guess there is a version out. I don't know. Yeah, sure.
It exists. One of the alternate worlds. That's why I'm like, I think it's cool that they're making it clear it's slightly different. It's just different enough. And I really, really dig it. I think that they did a really good job this week of dealing with Chris's draw to that other world. He becomes a hero. He really does heroic shit. He comes back to his world and is like, Leota, I don't know, dog. I think I might belong over there. This shit might not be for me. I'm really, really loving it. I am.
Yeah. And to have Rick Flag Jr. back in is like a perfect, and just for comedic, nothing super important. It's just, relationship with hardcore. That's, gonna complicate.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a dorky douchebag in this reality, which is funny.
His little spying that he's doing, or keeping an eye on him, and then
dude,
it's
Joel
not
Kinnaman.
the Rick Flag.
I also not the Rick Flag we know at all, and I love that. I love that that's the case. I think that I also just love the idea, the concept of Chris having to run into people he has killed. When he sees him and he's like, shit. There's kind of this panic, he hasn't unpacked any of that because he hasn't been forced to. So I think it's a compelling way to push the character forward in a fun comic booky way. And I think that's just something James Gunn's always going to get right, is somehow telling really incredibly human stories with the most outrageous concepts. And I think that's a big strength of him as a comic book writer, or a comic book movie or show writer, I should say. I adore his work, and I think that what he's doing with Peacemaker season 2 right now, like amongst the best of the best comic book stuff we've seen this year, maybe in a couple years. It's really, really good.
You know, I don't want to call it like lazy writing, but I feel like when you look at it on the surface level compared to other shows that try to like calculate everything down to the nitty gritty and like get everything right, I feel like over here he's just like, fuck it, what could be the funniest thing or weirdest explanation for this? And it's like, oh, an alien just dropped his portal hat and the dad picked it up. And like, okay, actually, like, it might seem, I guess, lazy, but like, I feel like it makes the show much more fun and just much more in the vein of a comic book. Like that, it's not weird.
The other thing too is that like we'd had discussions for like weeks past where we were discussing how similar it was to the Lex Luthor tech, and on one side, you were saying something along the lines of like, I don't know, he has the technology, he's making the helmets, like he's got to have, he's got to have. And I remember at one point when it comes to, I don't have an argument for him making the helmets. I don't know how he did that, but I remember kind of my response being, I don't know, I feel like we might be giving him too much credit. I don't think he's that fucking smart. And he's not, especially considering that his version of it was so much cleaner than Lex's version of it. Like he's obviously not smarter than Lex Luthor, which is why I'm like, so there had to be something like that, which is why I appreciate that the quote unquote laziness of it is just kind of the obvious answer. And not obvious, like it's not like, well, of course an alien was on Earth, and no, but I mean like he stole it from something that wasn't of this world. Like that makes a lot of sense. And I think that we've talked about this on several occasions. Sometimes simpler is better. You know, like he has a really, really great habit of not overcomplicating stuff. It's really, really easy to discern when we're in each reality. It's really easy to discern who is which version of the character from each reality, because simply he's going to write them a little differently. And I think that there's no complication there, and I think that's charming, you know?
And the simplicity of it. And like I feel like it's kind of wrong to call it simple. Like it's just kind of a different form of writing, I feel like. And it just it allows the doors to be open for anything and everything at all. Like I mean, it's like with Marvel, I feel like when I'm watching their movies and their shows, I feel like I'm too tied down to the sacred timeline and everything having to matter. But like in this, I'm like, I view it as, yes, I'm still interested in what it could mean for the DCU, but I see it much more as just entertainment, and like I'm having a good time while watching it, and like even
I think there's a Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, Economos of someone who I like in another show I wouldn't care about at all, but I think like these 2 episodes were like actually Economos episodes. Like he's one of my favorite performers. Like I'm laughing because like I don't know.
Steve Agee is incredible.
And to take a character like that is just the guy in the chair, and you know, and in every other whatever movie, and to put him, I don't know. I'm like I'm having a great time with Peacemaker, mostly this last week with Economos, which is just kind of like I love that. And like, I don't know, the Marvel equivalent is Loki. I need it to be Loki. I'm in it for that show and what it means for the TVA and whatever. But here, I don't know, it just feels a lot more free spirited.
I agree. And you know, there's another interesting mix of things whenever that comes to bear, because I think, yes, James Gunn is obviously very, very talented at writing groups. He makes a very, very pointed case about telling everybody's story. Like he's exceedingly good at that. I don't want to discredit him in any regard for that. There's also something where he has the benefit of starting this universe on the other side of Marvel fatigue a little bit. Where he gets to tell the story the way he wants to in a slightly new way, and people are going to be like, oh shit, yeah, we're going to cook. You know, like it's like because it's I'm trying to find the right way to say it, because I don't again, you know, saying simpler is, it's not easier, it's nothing like that, you know, like it's but I don't think he's
Fresh,
really,
maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, fresher for sure, but I also don't think he's doing anything that we haven't, as far as universe building is concerned, that we haven't seen before. You know, like this does tonally feel very similar to the beginning of the MCU. It's just that the MCU ran its course for so long that people were ready for a new thing, or to get back to the way it felt at the beginning. And James Gunn has the ability to go, I'll just give that to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just give you something from the beginning. And I think that's why, like, when you talk about being attached to the sacred timeline, I think that you got attached to the sacred timeline. You saw that being attached to the sacred timeline ends up, like, affecting how much you enjoy everything. And now, as a viewer, I think we're on the other side of that and being able to go, well, then fuck it, I just want to watch good comic book movie stuff. And and now James Gunn has the benefit of coming from that perspective for an audience that is kind of, you know, I don't want to say tired of it, because we're not. I do still enjoy a lot of Marvel stuff, but it got to be a lot, and I think that he knows that, and I think that he has the ability to correct it for DC before it gets that bad, you know, and I think that's interesting.
And I feel like on the other side of the fence, a lot of people said, like, there's so many movies to watch. You have to watch all these shows to understand everything. And some of them really didn't matter at the end of the day, but there were some events that, like, well, if you didn't know this went down, it's actually kind of weird of what's going on.
Yeah.
But in this universe, like, Creature Commandos, if you didn't watch that whatsoever, like, you have, you know, Rick Flag Sr. dropping it in here of, like, the little lines that he did. But it's just like,
he did say Pecola-stan and all that good stuff,
Which, like, for the people that watch that show, that's, like, just so cool to be like, oh, like, we already knew it was canon, or, you know what, but just that it's animation, he's in here, it's just all the same. I don't know, it's just cool. But you didn't need to watch it whatsoever to get what his character is doing in Peacemaker. Like, he's still written very, very clearly, like, for this show. And so, but I think it works just both ways. If you don't watch the other stuff, you don't have to, but if you do, it only enhances everything. And I feel like there will be those fans that just watch the movies that won't even watch Peacemaker or won't even watch Creature Commandos whatsoever, and just stay on the movie grind. And there's always those fans in between. And I feel like he's just building it for, like, this universe is just more built for everyone rather than the dedicated.
And, you know, we could be singing a new tune come the end of this season. We did have the announcement in between our Peacemaker episodes that Man of Tomorrow is coming in 2027, same year as the Batman Part 2.
Whoa. Yeah.
So we have the Superman sequel in 2 years. And that the end of this season directly sets up the follow-up to Superman. So, you know, yes, we right now we feel like the universe is for everybody and we don't need to watch everything, but we could be barreling towards a point where that's not the case. And, you know, I also trust James Gunn. I do think that he has the ability to go, like, you know, similar to what you were just saying. Will it be very rewarding if you did watch Peacemaker? Yes. I also don't think he's going to alienate a movie audience by being like, you had to watch the HBO TV show. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think he'll do that, which is why, like, I do think this is very, very strong. You know, similar to Multiverse of Madness and Wanda Maximoff. I think people oversold how important WandaVision was to that, because they kind of rehash everything that happens in WandaVision anyway. But it is undoubtedly very, very important, and you get a lot more of Wanda if you saw WandaVision. So I think that because Peacemaker season 2, it's not like it's not like Lex Luthor's in this. You know, maybe a villain who presents a larger threat and has to be dealt with by Superman and Lex, as it's being kind of touted they're going to have to team up against a larger threat, will emerge and, Peacemaker is like the first stepping stone in that. Like Peacemaker's the first one to try to fight him or something, I don't know. But regardless, like I'm really excited. Like you said, it's just so much, it's so open. There's so much possibility. It's really, really nice right now.
Yeah, and I guess we do still have Clayface coming in there too, and Clayface is gone, or I don't know how Clayface dies or whatever, I guess, or if he's truly dead, what happened to him in Creature Commandos? But like he obviously has been infiltrating and has caused a bunch of problems already. So I'm wondering if that movie is more back in time and we get like more prequel stuff with Clayface, or because am I thinking right that he like died, or like didn't they like blow him up completely? Like he splatted.
Right, yeah, he popped. I forgot he popped up in Creature Commandos. That's right.
Yeah, and he's the one who injured Rick Flag Senior's back.
Yeah,
like that's why he was in the hospital. It was that fight with Frankenstein and them.
Yeah, you're right. No, I forgot about that.
But
I also don't think it's impossible to say that it could be Elseworlds. I think that there's like
Clayface isn't.
I don't know yet. That's why I'm like I can see that being a possibility as well, like a one-off horror movie that doesn't really have any universe implications.
Yeah. Okay, I see that. Yeah.
So I think regardless of if it takes place in the DCU or as Elseworlds, I actually don't see that one having a ton of bearing on the universe. I think it's just an opportunity for James Gunn to hand a story to a creative like Mike Flanagan, who's very passionate about horror projects, and letting him go wild with it.
And again, I mean, I guess I'm pretty sure I'm remembering that Clayface dies at the end of that interaction.
Yes,
so it would have to be
he is splatted. Well, and that's the thing too, though, about Clayface is that he's like made of clay. So it's like there's a thing where it's like I don't know,
together,
can like you just mush him and he's fine? Yeah.
But I think the future, like how it goes to Lex, in the way that it can remain Peacemaker by itself and not really have Peacemaker to encounter Lex himself, is just whenever this door, whenever they establish it, it sends out like this, some signal. Yeah. And Argus is detecting it right now. They detect it every time it happens, every time the door opens even. Not whenever he changes the location. Just anytime he went in there, Argus could detect it. And I feel like Lex, he can just detect that on his own. Like, bros, he's got all the tech.
Certainly.
So I'm assuming it could be as little as one of his techs comes up to him and just says, hey man, I detected this weird energy of blah, blah, blah radiation. That means quantum unfold, I don't know. And he's like, I'll look into that. And then he's like, and then he just starts like trying to replicate it. And it makes a lot more sense that Lex is just like the stepping stone to get to this alien tech. Like he's just probably the first human to try to actually make it on Earth and not just have a already alien made version dropped for them, sort of thing. So when I was thinking that like somehow their dad cracked the code and figured it out, and then Lex was somehow dumber and then couldn't figure it out, this makes a lot more like sense that he just doesn't have the helmet and he has to figure it out on his own, and our tech just isn't, I don't know, even Lex isn't, there yet. So,
no, not there yet. Not there yet.
I think that's at least a nice way of, it doesn't connect super hard. It sets up super, like maybe it sets up like how Lex was in there, and I guess, setting up the sequel is interesting, because Lex is seemingly...
Yeah, I mean, we don't have any frame of reference for that yet.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's interesting. And I don't anticipate... That's why I'm like, I don't think that there's going to be like this is Superman 1.5 Peacemaker season. No, like that's not at all. Like I do think it will genuinely be like sort of a stinger, just like the after effects of whatever happens in Peacemaker is what lingers and sets up or the next Superman movie. Because like you said, I don't think we're going to see Nick Holt. I'm losing faith that we're going to see David Corn Sweat, and I, not that I'm like, we have to or anything, but like, I don't know. The more we get into this, the less I think that's likely. And I'm not ruling it out, but I mean, I just think that the story doesn't really feel... Season 1 was big enough to concern, to concern Superman if he was going to get involved. This isn't really, you know, like not yet. And that's why I'm like, I think that there could be something interesting, but I don't think it's going to happen that way.
Does Argus try to do what Lex does initially, but it's all kept secret because they're intelligence agency? But Lex does it, and then that's when the public, you know, that's whenever it's like worldwide known, maybe, or something. And but again, it's like I can't really see, like, this is post Superman already, like, so or like when is so like this whole has already, like, Lex, I don't know, it's already known that this that's why they can actually detect it. That's why Argus
because they have the signature from Lex's.
I was thinking of it backwards. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking like this was still before Superman.
They've referenced it a couple. I think
times. My brain's going back and forth of this alien tech on Earth when that happens and whenever the first human. Like I think like I don't know this, gotcha. and then me. I don't know. I'm just jumping timelines. I feel like I'm confusing my brain.
Yeah, you're bouncing back and forth. But yeah, no. This is between Peacemaker season 1 happens, Superman happens, this happens. Peacemaker season 2.
Okay. So Argus is just definitely like, oh, we have found the clean. Well, they haven't found it, I guess, yet. But if they did, it would be like, oh shit. Okay. Well, we found Lex's tech, but on steroids. That's that. Okay. Now my brain is set with the timeline of the show. But
yeah, I'm really loving the big comic booky stuff, but obviously what James Gunn always does even better than that is the character relationships. I love how much Chris is struggling with his attachment to Harcourt. And I wonder if there ever comes a point where I gotta hope anyway that there comes a point where he realizes that the other world isn't his. Like he's an imposter in a fake world. And that, like, regardless of how much it pleases him, that, like, he shouldn't do that. Like, it is still it's unethical for him to step into someone else's life and take their life and, you know, take advantage of Harcourt in that regard and take advantage of his brother and his dad in that way. Like, I'm intrigued by that possibility. I think it'd be a very big stepping stone for Chris as a character.
Yeah, the fact that the universe is a white supremacist world, though, like, it feels like that's the easy out. And, like, I hope he makes the revelation just before that. Like, and then it's, you know, I think we already brought that up, that it's like just a double, like a cherry on top if he does realizes it before, and then it's like, oh, white supremacist world, even easier to, you know, I don't know, erase it or what, I don't know. Like, are we getting into the pruning of timelines here, or just like destroy the door? Like, this, no one should enter this. You know, I wonder if you know, we're getting any sort of like destroying timeline potential, but I think it's more that Adebayo said something that I think is really interesting, and that she says, like, are you sure that it is another reality, or is it just you walk through a door and your mind is playing tricks on you? And like, right, like, he did see his dad, you know, and like after he died in his own reality, and we're like, okay, that's just him, you know, dealing with the trauma and like what, but, you know, like, I could see where, I don't know. Like, it does feel like this has to be another world and we're exploring the multiverse. But, like, I wonder if like, somehow it is a mind trick on Chris. And, like, when Adebayo walks through the door, something else happens. But with the difference of the doors, and, like, he even says, it was my dad's door, I put in his code, it worked. You know, like, it's just, I feel like the multiverse there. But I was just trying to think of one plot twist that could change. I don't know, could change how we see.
It could be cool if it is like a villain yet to be revealed is specifically targeting Peacemaker. You know, like feeding on his deepest desires and giving him everything he wants in another reality, and you know, like that. Dealing with the information that we have, I think it is most likely that it is a multiversal threat. But The whole idea that when
The
Adebayo
alien that's
goes, like,
cooking
are
his
you
meal.
even sure it's right? Like, are you even
yeah.
sure it's real? When she did that, I was like, oh shit, I've never even thought about it not being real.
Yeah.
And, you know, like she references him seeing his dad and all that, and him being like, no, this is different. So, like, I do, when it comes to the quote unquote twist, it'll either be that the reality, which does exist and is multiversal, is not what it seems, which I think is likely.
Yeah.
That's my 1A. That is my prediction. I think it is a white supremacist reality where the white dragon became a world hero and the Nazis won, basically. You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
But option 2 would be that there is some sort of threat who, like you said, the alien cooking in the you know, the quantum unfolding chamber, letting his dog out and shit. I think that there could be something. Yeah, there could be something there where they are, you know, specifically targeting Chris, and maybe I don't know what the payoff would be, other than just like, I mean, it could be an interdimensional imp. You know, it could be a Mr. Mxyzptlk sort of thing where, like, I know that James Gunn loves the interdimensional imp stuff, and if there's going to be a larger threat that Superman and Lex Luthor have to face together, I think Mr. Mxyzptlk would be an awesome way to take
That'd
it.
Be so cool. That'd be so cool.
If he was just like, he's creating a reality for Peacemaker to fall into, because then the motive isn't based in like, I needed to distract. No, it's because I wanted to fuck with Peacemaker, and that's that would be great also, because that's all that little fucker does.
Oh, I just the alien in the woods that the dad killed. Peacemaker was the only one to be like, no, like, don't kill, you know, like, or whatever. And maybe, you know, the alien species knows this, you know, and that's why they have like it's so weird. Like, we've only seen the alien doors and Peacemaker doors. That's it. You know, why don't we see every other you know, I don't know. And maybe we just haven't gotten there. But, like, maybe it is just a favoritism of Peacemaker. Like, it is this interaction that happened. I don't know. The first time that any other species happened to come into this, chamber. And yeah,
well, is the neighboring alien that comes out every once in a while just a grown-up version of the alien we see them kill?
Yeah.
You know, like, is it just that is their species when they're I don't know, aged? Because we talked a couple weeks ago about how, like, what if all these doors lead to versions of Chris? I don't think that's likely now. I think that it's more likely that in this slightly different reality, this same thing happened, and they might be the only two realities that it happened in. And so now they have access to it.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, what? Like, this, whenever the alien died, is that on white supremacist world? Or does that event happen?
It could
everywhere.
Yeah,
I guess that could have been
that's
either world.
That could have been either one, which is what makes that kind of interesting. I do think we see Chris running and protecting the little helmet he picks up throughout the episode. So I think the implication is it definitely happened in our Chris's reality, but I do think it's because the other one has this, it almost certainly happened to them too.
Is it? Okay, say that the reality we've known, non-white supremacist world, that's when the alien dropped the door. And it happened to fall into a white supremacist hands. And now we're seeing a white supremacist world. Like, I wonder if, like, it's a direct consequence of him the dad having the door. And that world didn't exist before, but now that he has access to the, you know, the tech, then the white supremacist world, you know, he crafted his own world over there. I feel like maybe a little bit, or like, you know, or something, you know, he has this infinite quantum unfolding, whatever. And he, in his mind, what is the world he wants to live in? This exact one right here. So, like, I wonder if, like, and again, I might be giving him a lot of credit here. This could just be the multiverse at work, and it's just infinite possibility. But I don't know. I wonder. It does feel a little like, why have the white supremacist angle? If it's just the multiversal story of my real reality is the only true one to me and the only one that I can have real emotions in. I feel like that's the big theme of the story. Why do you need the white supremacist part to, it feels like it diminishes that side of the story a little bit. It's like it's way easier to leave that world than if it were just completely perfect. As we know reality, but hardcore and everyone else is perfect, whatever. But so I think it I don't know, it could be a consequence of Augie getting the helmet, and then that world pops up. And that's why we've only seen alien doors and Augie doors. It's because you have to walk in there first in order for your realities to unfold or something. I don't know. Like, so that's, I'm really, like, I wanted Adebayo to walk in there so bad. Like, oh, we had Vigilante walk in there, though, actually.
Yeah.
So, okay, he's been in there one time. But, yeah, like, it'd be cool if they go back, maybe, and then they see a Vig door, or, like, they see, I don't know, something that's, like, his, or I don't know, because I guess we have Vig and Adebayo about to go in there. And I love the, like, Mission Impossible kind of theme of Economos, like, just trust, he's stalling for as long as he can, but he has to trust that Peacemaker's doing whatever he's doing.
Yeah,
and,
he's
like,
got to get it done.
Oh, it felt so cool. And, like, the little smile he gives whenever they open the closet, and it's just,
he's like,
just it's like, it felt so, I don't know, it just felt so Ethan Hunt a little bit. So that was awesome.
No, I'm with you. Yeah, and like you said, I'm really, really loving that everyone's kind of choosing their side too. I like that as soon as Economos is like firmly going, shit, I can't do it. He's like, I really thought I could, but I can't. I'm gonna warn Chris. I'm gonna work for him basically from the inside. Tell him what's going on and all. Like, great. Right at that moment, Harcourt finally has a chance to get back in. Which is far more dangerous than Economos on the inside.
And, remember what you said to me at the funeral. I just guarantee, like, it has to be, if we find out who killed Rick Flag Jr., we are going to kill that person, I feel like. So, and that's, he's like, why aren't you holding up your end of the deal, sort of thing. So it's, but, and she, like, the stare Economos gives her, at the end, she says, I know I'm doing the right thing, out loud, but, like, she's like, fuck. She's like,
nah, yeah.
She is going back and forth, and, she's right in the sense that, like, it is unfair what happened to her, if she was the agent for however many years of service, and she actually would have advised against what Adebayo did, and it just happened that, she got black booked by Waller, just kind of sucks. But no, I mean, it's like, it feels wrong, obviously. Like, an Economist doesn't even have to say a word. It's just like, dang, like, I don't know. And I love that that's just the cliffhanger. That's like, we're heading there. That's it. Like, that's the very, I don't know, last reveal is just Hardcore being like, all right, I guess whatever.
I gotta get Chris.
Going there.
Yeah, like, that's...
and I'm I think, whenever we get there, like, we're like, Argus is gonna be, I'm assuming, like, Rick Flag is taking this as an assassinate. Like, are they gonna kill him right then and there? Is he wanting to capture him first to, like, torture him, or you think it's just like he's out for blood, like he's ready to just kind of?
I don't know. That's hard to say, because Rick Flag, I wouldn't blame him for wanting to be out for blood, but I also feel like he's a little more tactful than that. Like, whenever he talks to, was it Adebayo he was talking to at the time, or maybe it was Harcourt? It was Harcourt. Sorry. Where he's like, she says something about how he was taking orders from Waller and he followed them to the letter, and he's like, well, you don't always do that. I didn't follow her orders in Bakolistan. You didn't follow her orders in Corto Maltese, so, like, what made him think he had to do that? And so, like, I do appreciate that we're taking the universe's history and directly applying it to current conflicts. Like, that's another really, really awesome world building tactic. Mm-hmm. And I think that, so that's why I'm like, I think that there might be a little bit of a conversation that Rick Flag wants to have.
Yeah,
you know, I don't know so much that he wants to straight up like torture him. I do think he'll torture. I think I think he'd hurt him during that conversation. I don't want to like, but I don't think he's trying to pry information out of him. Yeah. You know, I don't think it's anything like that. But yeah, I think that Rick Flag, I don't think he wants it to be quick, clean, boop, you're dead. I think he wants him to know, like, hey, I'm going to kill you, and it's because you did this, and, you know, all that good stuff. So I don't think it's just like, if somebody else gets the shot, take it. No.
The one thought, I've been keeping Peacemaker as very, very safe. It's his show, you know, but, like, I feel like he could die. Like in this season, at any point, maybe it's the finale. I feel like it would be like if he does die, it's like a finale. But I have this weird theory, and I could be looking into it way too hard. But in the intro, at the very end of the dance, when everyone just dog piles, there are some people there are some people that are just dead and completely lifeless, and there are some people that are like, oh, you know. There's just sleeping dead people versus awake people who are, you know, and Peacemaker dead. But there's not many dead people in here. But he is very much dead. Adebayo dead, which that's kind of scary if that comes true. And then I don't know if we've met this character. Some other female character that's dead. Oh, a little judo master dead. If it's true. Vigilante, hardcore, we're good. Hardcore, almost. So it's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm looking into this too much, but I bring this up to just say that, like, before I thought there was no shot of Peacemaker dying, but I actually kind of see it as, like, a finale potential. Like, he, I don't know how he dies, or I feel like it's a sacrifice play of some sort, but like it might be like because you killed this other version of yourself, like it's kind of like a punishment or something for the crime he committed. But I don't know. I want to leave that door open of the possibility that it might set up Superman, but it could very well be without Peacemaker. Peacemaker doesn't have to continue on.
I think we would have to do a lot story-wise in the next 3 episodes for there to be a gratifying payoff of him dying. As far as a quality story told, if he's still dealing with a lot of the stuff he's dealing with, and then just dies, without any resolution at all, like in one way or the other, whether, you know, like he forgives himself for this or, you know, whatever. I think that there's just a lot he has to deal with before he can die. I don't see, I mean, like I fully see the possibility of him dying at the end of his show. I don't think season 2 is the end of his show.
I see. Because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about like, I see these other characters continue. Argus will continue. That's why I feel like it's for hardcore a little bit. Like, I think if Peacemaker dies, and he comes to all these realizations, he's like, no, that world isn't worth it. My world is the best one. Even though this hardcore is way, way harder to, you know, like, I will never be with her, at least of right now. Right. Like, it feels impossible. It's like, even through all of that, this world is worth it. And then I feel like he will tell her this, you know, he will express this to her and say, hey, like, I have learned this lesson, this multiversal lesson, and now I know who I am. If he then dies after that, and then hardcore, you know, that, like, the lesson, I guess, you know, or hardcore will have to come to terms with a whole lot after that. And I wonder if that's like the payoff of it. But yeah, I don't know. I would love a season 3. Like, these characters to continue. Yes. Like, please give me more. But I feel like in the universe, like, Argus is just kind of like the shield, and it's like the universal, you don't need it to be Peacemaker.
There's absolutely elements from the show that'll carry on. I have no doubt about that. And that's why, like, I don't see it as an impossibility. I just think we have a lot to do in the back half of this show in order for a death payoff to be fulfilling. Because, I mean, for a main character to die, it does also have to be kind of sudden. You know, it does have to be kind of like, oh shit, we're going to kill the main character. You know, that. I can see it. I can see it, no doubt. And I'd be open to it as long as they can pull it off effectively. That's my thing, is that I think that James Gunn, you know, when it comes to his storytelling, he would absolutely be willing to kill Chris if the story was right. You know, like if it wouldn't just be like a shock value sort of thing. So that's why I'm like, I think that it's possible the back half of the show just have to do everything right leading up to it in order for it to be a proper payoff.
Yeah, I think I now that I don't know, talking about it more, I think I just left the door open, but I don't know how the story wraps up that nicely with him dying yet. And I guess there is still a whole half of the season to go. But
it's a lot of TV. Yeah. It's a lot of TV. That's why I'm like, I don't want, but another thing that's interesting is that these last 2 episodes were like 35 minutes apiece, which I did not see coming. They were much shorter, and I mean, like, they were very, very good. It's a really, really great example of how runtime doesn't necessarily dictate quality. Like, anytime someone's like, oh no, this episode's only 28 minutes, what are we gonna do? Like, I don't know, it could be really fucking good. Would I prefer more? Yeah, but like, it really good episode of TV regardless. So I'm very, very pleased with these last 2, even though they like combined to the total runtime of the first episode.
Yeah, we're moving though. Like, things are moving.
Elevating, escalating very quickly.
Well, I guess like not like it's just that they knew Chris had this tech. They were like just getting to his house, and now they're just trying to like capture him and kill Eagly. So like, actually, on like it seems that like, I mean, we do a lot, but I'm enjoying it, and it feels like a lot is going on. But like, I guess like now that I'm taking a step back, it's just like this is a very local, just Argus and Peacemaker thing, and like
that's why I'm like, it's not big enough right now for this exact conflict to be what leads us into Superman the sequel. It's elements from it, remnants of it that will kind of carry forward, I think, and that's why I'm like, I think that going back to like Peacemaker potentially dying in some sort of sacrifice play, I see it as a possibility. We just have to do more than we have in the first half of the season, in the back half of the season, for me to feel like we got there.
Does he Loki himself in? No, I was gonna say like him staying in the other universe for like some purpose to make it better. No, I like that universe is kind of beyond repair, I feel like. So my ultimate goal for that universe is for Chris to somehow contact the alien and say like, hey, no, this is the guy who killed your son or whatever, you know, like that's the, you know, murderer of this alien, destroy, and that we just see an alien invasion and they just fucking destroy everything. And then maybe that's the setup to Superman, is like, oops, we let these aliens know where Earth is, and now they're, I don't know, maybe they're coming to every Earth, possibly, because Augie is still alive on the Earth that we know. No, he's not, actually. Never mind. Hello. What am I thinking? Yeah, no, so, but there's no reason for them to come, I guess, at that point. But I don't know. I guess I want to put it out there. I want to see this world go in a way. I feel like this timeline.
Well, and that's what's funny is like it's all just vibes right now. It's all just vibes right now. They still haven't committed to it. But you know, scanning the background of every single frame.
Yeah, there's not
whenever
a single
we're doing
person.
There's not a single person of color. Yeah, there's not a single person of color. Which is like, I gotta think the white supremacists won in the reality where Red Dragon is a hero.
Yeah, it's, you know, there is the rebel group. I forget what they called themselves, but you know, fighting against our oppressors, and they're doing things. So I mean, there is obvious. It's not like a complete takeover where every single person is brain. You know, I guess in this.
No, yeah, it would be
but
not possible.
I mean, so maybe I don't want the world to blow up. Maybe I was a little too hasty to just rid this universe. Maybe it's just, hopefully, I don't know, maybe it's just this town, or they have a really just a city. It's not worldwide. I hope.
It's
which
a white supremacist stronghold.
Yeah, that's maybe best case scenario, I guess. And then, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want now. I did kind of want the eradication of this world, but really only if it was 100% Augie world. And with this rebel group,
it doesn't seem like that anymore. Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. There is there's going to be nuance there, which is always fun. Maybe the idea is that we all go to this world, and Leota, Vidge, they join the rebel group, and then they take it down from the inside, sort of thing. And that's like one of the back half of the episode, one of the back half of the series things. Because one of the things that I always appreciate about multiversal stories, and I think is very important to multiversal stories, is that just because this world isn't their world doesn't mean that their lives are null and void and don't matter. They are still real people with real lives that they are really leading. So it's like every ethics that you would apply to your reality with your people, they should apply to this other reality with these other real people. So if you see people in need of help and you have the ability to help them, why wouldn't you, sort of, And I think that could be a very interesting idea for the back half of the season, is maybe going to that reality and, cleaning up, as it were.
Yes, this weird back and forth of knowing the realities out there and knowing that, like, you can help, so you should, but then also on the other side of the coin of you cannot live in that reality whatsoever and have it be true, or or as far as like your own personal connections.
Yeah, it's not your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would have to be living in the universe for like that revolution purpose to give you a purpose to be there. So it's like, but the lesson that like I feel like is immediate, or like the human lesson is like almost to leave other realities alone, is like you they're out there, but accept your own. I feel like it's just like you can only live in your own. But yeah, this other,
it's that J. Cole song, "Love Yours."
Ooh, it's a
good one. Ain't no such thing as a life that is better than yours. Ain't no such thing as a life that is better than yours. Let's see. Always gonna be some clothes that's fresher than the ones you got. Always gonna be some bitches badder than the one you got. Always gonna be some hoses better out there on the tours. But you ain't ever gonna be happy till you love yours.
No, like even right now, maybe I don't want to put it beyond the U.S. government or our technology, whatever. But like, I don't think we're at the quantum unfolding infinite. We can walk through doors like this. But
I don't see it.
If it's out there, say 1,000 years in the however many years it takes to get there, it then is possible. These realities are out there, and you could have your own perfect life if you just murder your perfect self and self-insert. Like this is a possibility. Like I think it works all the same. Like for us now, even if it's not real, you just imagine that possibility, but still know that like this is still the best, or I don't know. It's like the only one that matters at the end of the day. And it's I
just think that you have to have a certain sociopath thing going on if you are willing to plug yourself out of the life
that's yeah,
and plug yourself into it's a Matrix thing, like
you have to kill
even
yourself
whenever
first, like that,
you also have to kill yourself first. That's a big step,
like
like even in the Matrix, whenever Cypher's like, plug me back in, but I won't remember any of this, right? Like it's the knowing it that makes it. Like you will remember it. There's no like wipe my mind so that I believe this is my reality. No, like that's not possible, and that's the part that makes it impossible to do unless you are a sociopath. Like if you're able to go, this is really me now. This is actually my life. You're breaking a little bit. And
I love just how
that's what
everyone in the world knows it's not him, and like they're not immediately aware that it's like multiversal Chris, but they're just like, what the fuck is
You're
wrong
different,
with you? Like,
man.
yeah, they're bringing, like, every interaction is weird with him. And I love, like, I love that it's biometrically, sure, he's the same. He passes. But, like, obviously the human, just, the uncanny valley of, I guess, you know, whatever this phenomenon is of your multiversal self, you'll always be a little different. Or there's always something to you that's different. But, I mean, like, in this world, Hardcore broke up with Chris, or like they broke up. Like, she's saying, don't fuck around on me. And like, it's very, you know, is he cheated on her or whatever? I don't know. It could, but then she says, you know, the ultimate last straw that broke was like that she criticized his driving or whatever. And like, so does fucking around on me actually mean something like much like simpler in this world? You know, way different in this world. That's like,
no, I don't think so. I think it's a bit of both. I think that not only did he cheat on her, he was also emotionally belligerent. I think that there's the idea that he, you know, he's an addict. He's been taking pills, and they've made him, you know, off kilter. He's, you know, quick to snap. He's got anger issues. And I think that's kind of what we're talking about here when it comes to this reality, is that our Chris is actually much more well adjusted than this universe's Chris, which is wild.
Yeah. I get the white supremacist Chris has only known the sheltered life his whole life. Exactly,
he's a spoiled bitch.
And I mean, he's got, you know, kids crying. I mean, crazy that a kid is on one side of the street crying, and then a woman flashes him on the other side of the street. Seemingly,
no shit.
The kid is right there still. But hey, you know,
that's true.
That's okay. But you know, this
he's like perfect fucking reality. I love. He's like, holy shit, kids are crying, they love me, chicks are flashing me on the street. Jesus, I'm a god here.
He says it the first time, it's okay, but the second time he says best dimension ever, best reality ever. Hardcore is right there. And that's like, I feel like she will be like, huh? Like, she'll maybe like, what? Why'd you say best dimension ever? You know, or what, like, or something. And then that's maybe he has that conversation. And
could be interesting.
Because I feel like he tells like Adebayo, he's like, yeah, I'm exploring things with Hardcore right now, and it's like the other Hardcore, the non, you know, Hardcore we know. But I think like he's doing this like to test before he goes to our the Hardcore we know, to say something, or, you know, to change and whatever. So I think like he's already beyond actually staying in this reality and being with this Hardcore. He's like just trying to see somehow how to make it work with the Hardcore he knows. And then, but obviously the meeting they're about to have next episode is gonna, I don't know, they're gonna have to have some conversation, you know. And I feel like he has to drop this ball now to her, you know. Like, I feel like they will have a conversation first before Rick Flag comes in and does everything. And then it, like, maybe, like, in this conversation, it causes Hardcore to be like, okay, you know what? Fuck, I'm taking orders again from Rick Flag, you know, and he even told me he didn't even take Waller's orders. So, you know, like, it's like, why am I just blindly following orders again, giving you up? Like, maybe they I don't know. They have their moment right then and there, and then she helps him escape somehow. It feels, I don't know, like a little fast if that's the case, though. Like if it's really just at the beginning of the next episode that they're just sunshine and rainbows. I don't know. But it feels, at least he has to drop that he's in I don't know. I think he will say that because he feels like he will be pressured. I don't know, like, he has no escape. Rick Flag is there. I don't like there's no way out. He just is like, all right, I might as well let you know, like, what I've been doing or something. And, but yeah, I guess I don't know how that plays out for the rest of it. That feels like a finale. I don't know, more of like a, I guess he could just say all that. Argus takes him in, Hardcore's back in, and then she's kind of doing what Economos is doing right now from the inside and helps him eventually, but not right then and there. It doesn't have to be an immediate flip, I guess, and then does something, to Rick Flag Sr. right then and there. I guess, yeah, I don't know why I'm of the mind that he wants him dead. But no, he's the head of Argus. He's got to like take him in, he can't just, I don't know. I don't know what the head of Argus can do if they can just assassinate.
No, that's why I'm like,
people.
I don't think it's an impossibility that I do think he wants him dead, but I think he wants to be the one who does it. So regardless of who, like, he tasks Harcourt with bringing Chris in. You know what I'm saying? Like that, he doesn't say, go kill Chris. He says, I need you to go get Peacemaker. Go get him for me. I think that he wants to be the one who does it. And so like, I look forward to that payoff. I can't wait to see Rick Flag versus Peacemaker. But interesting little thing that I saw this week, the scene in Superman, whenever Rick Flag arrests Superman, and outsources his, what's it called? Jesus, can't fucking think right now. His holding basically to Planet Watch, his custody to Planet Watch.
Okay.
The street corner that he like slams him down on is like the exact same place they filmed Frank Grillo arresting Captain America in The Winter Soldier.
What?
Yeah, it's like they shot it in the same exact place. That's neither here nor there, not very important, but like kind of crazy that like, because he was one of the Nazis in in the Marvel universe. He was a Hydra guy.
Everything's connected. No, it's all connecting.
It's all connecting.
Funny enough, you do bring this up because I was just looking through the cast to find what Rick Flag Jr.'s name was. The actor.
Joel Kinnaman.
Yes, but then he was listed post everyone else to like hide, I guess, that he was in the episode.
He was. He was
listed with one other guy, Robert Tinsley, and I'm like, did I miss like a crazy cameo or something? And this guy is just an extra in like almost everything Marvel or just I don't know. It's hilarious. And then
that's funny.
I just like I thought of this to find the coolest extra actor that there is, and then just to see like, because he is obviously he's in the same world so many times, but he has so many different positions, like he was in Thunderbolts, this Peacemaker, Avengers Endgame, Miss Marvel, like even like outside of Marvel, Stranger Things, WandaVision, Godzilla. Like to think of this dude's multiverse,
portfolio is deep. Yeah, that's
not
fucking
just,
hysterical.
The main characters, the extras that are just in the background all the time. But sometimes, he's like a high up military officer. Sometimes he's just guy in background, or you just literally a pure extra. But yeah, it's I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna connect. I was gonna connect what we were talking about a little bit ago with kind of the white supremacist stuff. Biggest piece of evidence for me that this is a white supremacist reality is that the Kardashians aren't famous.
Yes. Who are the Kardashians? Yeah, that's
And this is because there wouldn't have been an O.J. Simpson trial for Robert Kardashian to take part in, and there wouldn't be a Ray J. Kim Kardashian sex tape. So,
that
like
timeline.
two of the things that did propel the Kardashians to different levels of fame are directly tied to black people.
It's like saying we can thank black people for folk music at the end of the day, even though it seems like a white thing. But no, we can thank black people for the Kardashians. That's really weird to
the
say.
Kardashians.
Yeah, it feels wrong to say.
No, it is. But like that's the thing is that like that's why they're not famous in this reality is because of white supremacy.
Oh my god. Yeah, it feels and this is what makes it feel like Augie worldwide. Like it is much not just a city. Like if the Kardashians don't,
it isn't. That's right, because the Kardashians aren't famous. Like there is it is a different reality.
What a way
that's why
to
I'm like it's
connect it to actually verify. Of how
that is as much verification as I need right now. Yep. No O.J. Simpson trial needed to take place.
That is incredible. Oh my god.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think it's that's the biggest the biggest piece of evidence, aside from the fact that you can't see a single black person anywhere or any person of color ever in the background of that reality.
I mean, Adebayo's walking through that door, right? Like, and that's how
she's got to. That's when we'll know.
Yeah,
you know,
is like,
yeah.
I mean, like I see Chris, like, right now, he has no idea it's actually a white supremacist world. It's just like all of the alarms for us are going off. So like, yeah, there is no reason for him to be like,
that alarm for Adebayo will also go off immediately. Like this, I think we're also going to have like a little bit of a, you know, meta commentary on the fact that Chris is so focused on what he wants and what he, you know, what he needs, that he's not seeing the world for what it is, kind of. Like, I think that will be the version of the reality, quote unquote, playing tricks on him. Is that like he's blinding himself to the obvious flaws by immersing himself in nothing but what he wants to see. And I think that's something that, devoid of those attachments, maybe even Vigilante, I think if pretty much anybody else would enter that world and go, wait a minute. Especially Adebayo though.
Vig, I don't know. You know, he's he loves his spiders. I mean, oh my god.
Vig is the woker though.
The woker?
The woker. Why so curious?
Yes,
there's him
and Economos.
Well, there was that line in the first season whenever he busts the fuck down on Augie in prison. Whenever he he's like, you fucking white supremacist pick me fuck asshole.
Yes.
Like, I think like he lets loose on him for being a racist, which is why I'm like, maybe Vig has an eye for it, you know? Maybe there is something there.
And he almost even was like, oh, Chris, that means you're racist. I think didn't even think of killing Chris. Like at one point, he's like, oh, if that means you're racist, then I have to kill
he's like,
you. He's like, yeah, so
you work with your dad though, right? You work with the racist, you know, he's like, walks like a duck, talks like a duck.
Yeah, but I love like Vig, I guess, and Economos. Like they are just support. Like I don't know, they're supporting characters at the end of the day. But like like their scenes, I don't know. Is like the ones that I enjoyed the most, surprisingly, like out of everything. Like whenever he's in the bathtub, you know, like he's going on and on about, I don't know, some facts to Adebayo and Hardcore, and Hardcore's like, oh, go check on Economos, get the fuck out of here, and he puts his fingers down his throat to check if he, you know, has throw up or whatever, and you just hear Economos from the other room, like, what the fuck, like, Jesus Christ, dude, like, their interactions this episode were just so good, and like him cleaning his pants and folding them, putting them on the counter, and it's like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, I think every Economos line
fucking killed me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I washed your pants.
yeah, like,
why the fuck would you do that, dude? So fucking funny.
Like,
I also found the Vigilante line because I needed to recite it because it's too good. Let's each say something that we're grateful for that black people have contributed to American culture. Hey, look, I'll go first. I'm grateful that black people gave us rock and roll music. Leonard Skinner, ZZ Top, 38 Special, all those guys owe everything to black American folk and blues musicians. I mean, they wouldn't exist without them. And then white redneck music would sound just like, well, what it sounded like before black people, which was the wet, sloppy sounds of fucking your sister. Okay, so that's my turn. Which of you dumb sister fucking teachy torch carrying sloth from Goonies looking pieces of shit wants to go next?
Yeah. He's going ham in this world, dude. He is fucking
dude, like
rip. Oh,
there's also a line in the first season where he goes, I never get to kill anybody with a chainsaw. I'm hoping he kills a motherfucker with a chainsaw.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get a bloodbath. I feel like
I hope we and I hope it's like against the white supremacists specifically. Yes. I look forward to that, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, that's gonna.
But I feel like there's gonna be like, I feel like Chris maybe is going to. He's only spent like a few days there. I feel like there's going to be something that is very casually handled for like Augie and Roy. Wait, not Roy. I always forget his fucking name. He's Roy in The Office.
Keith.
What the fuck is this guy's name?
Keith.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Keith. Keith and Augie are gonna be like, it's time to head to like, you know, mass. And everyone's gonna be wearing like fucking hoods. You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be like one of those things where like they're like, we're heading off, and they're like, and Chris will be like, wait, what? No, wait,
Putting
no,
all the
wait.
dots together is like, yeah, you see your dad's costume, still the white dragon. It's on murals everywhere, and like it's like a
that's why I'm like, I just don't know. You are right that they have to handle that very delicately, where one way he has to kind of come to the conclusion that this can't be his reality first in order for the whole payoff of the story to kind of hit the way it's supposed to. Not to say that that's like an absolute 100% thing. I do think that there's a way they could do it the other way around, and it could kind of crystallize his opinion. Like maybe it recontextualizes everything, and he's like, wait a second. Like,
I was so blind.
I was ready to jump. Like, I was ready to jump into this life, and I have no idea who these people are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see them doing it the flip side. Which is why, like, I'm really, really in. I'm really down for whatever we've got going on, and I think that we've got a lot to look forward to. I loved the incorporation of Michael Rooker these weeks. The Eagle Hunter.
Oh my god, yeah.
Dude's got some crazy fucking metahuman powers going on, by the way. That was fucking sick.
What the shit? I mean, you know, he's doing it for the indigenous people, whatever. Like that's what he's
Economos
saying.
Economos being like, you fucking Mr. Cultural Appropriation over here. Dude, I fucking love it.
I'm telling you, Economos stealing the show. Like he's fucking. I'm loving him.
He's hilarious, dude. I love. Like that's why like James Gunn is just always going to be the best with comic book stuff, because you're telling me that one of the most popular characters in comic book television right now is John Economos.
Yes. And,
like, you're fucking kidding me.
And an eagle killer that just did a blood ritual to fucking I don't even know, astral project himself to know where Eagly was. Like, that's the impressive thing, is that this wasn't just like some, you know, thing he was doing for himself. He knows where Eagly is.
He was tracking.
Dude was actually...
He was looking.
And I guess, like, you know, the lie that Economos tells him about, you know, it being the prime eagle, and that's why he has to act, you know, my third eye's been open, son, you know, and or whatever. So like, has he done this before, or is this just for the prime eagle, you know, to get Eagly and do this? Because I wonder if this is just also why he's the best damn eagle hunter in the world, is he can just do this, know where they're at, goes to shoot them, bada bing, bada boom. And yeah, I love how, like, he's so proud of it, but Economos is just like, that is not something you should be proud of. Like, and just how you agree with me, right? We agree on one thing, that Eagly must die, and like I do not.
No, we do not agree on that. Yeah.
But yeah. So
are you really the dumbest cunt of all time? Or are you just top five?
Top five, man. Yeah, like
and him being like, that ain't nice at all, son.
Yeah, like this Argus group right now. It's just Argus. It's just like another mixed, dude, like found kind, you know,
Langston
not a found
Fleury
family,
is the funniest fucking character in the show. Tim Meadows, like, I love him as an actor, and them bringing him in to just be. If I was making a face, that just comes with having a face, you know, like it's so funny. I'm really loving it
together. You know, it's a Midwestern thing, and I've been killing damn eagles in Illinois for I don't know how long, you know, or whatever, and just everyone teaming up on him, and then he gets spit on by Economos and then winked at by Bordeaux, you know. So I mean, yeah, it's a
fucking
they're cooking. Yeah,
good
this
stuff,
group,
man.
like, they're cooking. So
that's the thing, is like, it's tough for me to wrap my head around the fact that we are effectively introducing this many new characters, and I want to see them as much as I want to see our main cast of characters. You know, like I'm down for whatever right now. Like whatever they're going to take us to do, I'm in for it.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, the other show we're covering right now, I can't say that's the case with Alien Earth. There are times where we're with characters that I'm like, I really don't give a fuck about being with these characters. You know,
exactly.
Yeah, let's get back to the good shit. There's not a single hole in these right now where I'm like, man, this is the boring part. You know, like, no, not at all. That's why, like, I'm super happy. I'm loving this shit. And I can't wait for the back half of the series. You got anything else? Any last thoughts?
No other theories to spin. Yeah, I don't know. Surprisingly, I'm not really going places. I think I'm just happy with don't know. Like you said, I'm happy with wherever I'm going. I'm along for the ride. But yeah, it's gonna be nice to finish Alien Earth up.
Any new listener who might have made it to this point going, hold the fucking phone. You're telling me that was Joseph not going places?
Yeah, I guess true.
You're right. Yeah, it's not. It's not Joe going places, actually. Joe can go some crazy fucking places. We have a lot of fun here.
The potential of pathways, there's very limited, I feel like, paths here, but like...
No, yeah, like there's only a few options, I feel like, and that's what's making it so... I like that it's predictable, but like just beyond our reach enough to be like, I don't know exactly where though, and I like that there's this lingering sense of there's something I'm not seeing that's gonna come around, and I'm with it. But I think with that we can conclude this episode of Geek With Me, and we'll be back next week with the conclusion of Alien Earth, right?
Yes. It will be done.
Damn.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So we've got season 1, episodes 7 and 8 of Alien Earth coming next Wednesday, fresh off of the finale. If you're watching Alien Earth, you got to check that out with us. If you haven't watched Alien Earth, I know I just said that it's nowhere near as good as Peacemaker season 2. The last couple episodes that I've seen, 5 and 6, are well on their way. If they can stick the landing with 7 and 8, I'm going to look back on this season very, very fondly. So it's absolutely worth checking out regardless, especially if you like the Alien franchise. So much fun. Such a fun show. So, got to check out our coverage of Alien Earth here on Geek With Me, and come back in 2 weeks for episodes 5 and 6 of Peacemaker. Very, very excited.
Yes.
But let's see. We are also doing The Cinementalists. That's CINEMENTALISTS. That's our movie podcast, The Cinementalists. And this Friday will bring us Memento in Cinema Surprise. Joseph selected Chris Nolan's breakout film, Memento, kind of a mind-bending one if you've never seen it, and if you have seen it, you got to listen to us talk about it this Friday on The Cinementalists for Cinema Surprise. We also covered recently Blue Velvet and Cleo from 5 to 7, and we've been having a great time, so you got to check that out. We also have another movie coverage coming next week, as we have Fire Pod With Me, a Twin Peaks podcast friendly to the first-time viewer and the rewatcher alike. We are discussing Fire Walk With Me next Monday. Our coverage of the original 2 seasons of Twin Peaks came to a close, and we've got the prequel movie, coming next Monday, Fire Walk With Me. You got to check that out if you're a Twin Peaks fan. If you're not, you got to watch the show. Regardless of if you're going to listen to the podcast or not, you should watch Twin Peaks no matter what. And if you happen to want a podcast to go with it, we've got it for you on Fire Pod With Me. We are available on YouTube, and all of those accounts, all of those, titles, Fire Pod With Me, Cinementalist, Geek With Me, they're all there. They're all on YouTube if you're interested in that. We don't have video yet, but maybe one day again soon we may find our way back. But let's see. I think that's about the size of it. I think with that we will be able to conclude this episode of Geek With Me, and like I said, we'll be back next week, and I cannot wait. I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here, homie.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, eat peace, motherfucker.